Oh, let me tell you, meltage is a beautiful thing. Woohoo! See this? It's a puddle. It's a puddle! It means the snow is melting. Somebody asked me one day, where does all the water go or what happens with it or whatever, and it really depends. If we have a slow, steady melt, kind of like today, if you look at my roof, that thing was really covered the other day, and over time it's gradually melted down. Then that's fine. Water runs down to the river. Rivers go kind of fast, makes wonderful kayaking. Awesome. The other thing that happens though is that sometimes it'll all be frozen and then it'll start raining and it will heat up. And so we get water on top of hot air. So it melts and we have additional water coming at the same time. That's when we get floods. We have had some tremendous floods. Not here, but in the state. In fact, there's a town up closer to the border. It had a bridge maybe kind of like that, and the whole river was frozen. And as it started flooding, the ice on the river broke in half, and because of the flood it flipped up sideways, and the water coming down the river hit it and went up over the bridge. And it so happened that in this place the water was coming down the side of a mountain, and it was a town lower than the bridge, so when it flipped up it ran the water down into the town and flooded the town, and all the stores on Main Street were flooded, and it was a heck of a thing. It's pretty interesting stuff though. Anyway, that's not what I came out here to talk about. I came out here to look at my top to see if this stuff is dry. I think it's almost dry enough to sand, but I want to let it sit a little longer. And I also did some thinking about my tail light, and I decided that what I'm going to need to do is center punch these screws and drill them out and remove the glass, and then cut the screw off, center punch it again, and drill it out through the hole inside there, because I am going to, obviously, it's amazing to me that those old tail light bulbs still work, because they've probably been in there 20 years. But you know, all that stuff is going to need to be accessible, and that's the way to get into it. So that's what I'm going to wind up doing. I'm going to give some more thought to this spot here. Yeah, I'm just going to give that some more thought before I do anything. Could cut the whole thing out and weld it back in, but obviously if I'm going to do that I need to get this piece out of here, off of here, and I got a hole. I ran my grinder, I kind of lifted this up and ran my grinder up in there. I would need to get to the top of that to find out where the hole goes. But, oh, that's all things that I can work on right there. So, alrighty then. So, I don't think I'm ready to sand. I guess I can try a little sanding and see what it looks like. Might be hard enough to sand here. I'll put my camera down.